Inspired by the life of Chuck Wepner, more specifically his 1975 championship fight with Muhammad Ali, a broke Sylvester Stallone handwrote a screenplay about a down-and-out debt collector with dreams of becoming a boxer in 3 days, unbeknownst to him, birthing one of the biggest franchises in cinema history. The Rocky franchise has become a landmark in film. They are some of my favorite movies for sure, which is why I waited more than a year to make this video, because I'm asking, there are 6 Rocky movies, but are they all classics? I'm gonna regret this.
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this...
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this...
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this...
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this...
What is up, nerds? My name is Travis, and this is Wonder Nerd.
Sylvester Stallone wrote the original screenplay for Rocky in 3 days while watching the Wepner vs. Ali fight. Wepner got knocked out in the 15th round, with very few people expecting him to make it that far. Stallone claims that Wepner had little to no inspiration on the story. Other inspirations, though, include Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier, and Somebody Up There Must Like Me, the autobiography of Rocky Graziano. Wepner did eventually sue Stallone and settle for an undisclosed amount of money. Henry Winkler, you know the Fonz, he and Stallone were buddies after working on The Lords of Flatbush. Winkler took the script to executives at ABC who were interested in turning it into a made-for-TV movie. But the executives wanted rewrites. Stallone apparently begged Winkler not to let them do this. I wonder what that sounded like.
Ew, I don't want to turn it into a TV movie. I want it to be a cinematic masterpiece. I don't want to do no rewrites. Yo, yeah, let them not do this. Find them all.
I'm sorry, that was awful. United Artists, a production company started by Charlie Chaplin, Mary Pickford, and Douglas Fairbanks, liked the script and thought it would be a great vehicle for established stars like Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, Burt Reynolds, or James Caan. But Stallone insisted that he play the lead or it was a no-go. Luckily, they agreed and cinema history was made. The movie was directed by John G. Avildsen, who would go on to also direct Rocky V. Don't worry, we're going to talk about that one later. The late Carl Weathers would play the Muhammad Ali-inspired Apollo Creed. Real-life boxer Ken Norton was originally sought to play Creed, but he pulled out. Susan Sarandon auditioned to play love interest Adrian, but was deemed too pretty, which is very nice to say of Sarandon, who was and is very beautiful, but Talia Shire, who did go on to play Adrian, was and is also very beautiful. I mean, what the fuck, casting department? That's a horrible thing to say. Can we stop? The movie would shoot primarily in Philadelphia, with some scenes being shot in LA, and would gross $5,488 on its opening day, $5 million in its first weekend, and eventually grossing $117 million at the American box office on a budget of $1 million. Not to mention amassing a worldwide box office of $225 million. Rocky was a hit, even though the hero lost. This movie was the second highest grossing film of 1977, after Star Wars. Of course, fucking Star Wars. Obviously, with a hit like that, a sequel was inevitable. Rocky II came out in 1979, 3 years after the original, this time directed by Stallone himself. Stallone would also direct Rockies 3, 4, and Balboa, but we'll get to those. Hold your horses. Rocky II is similar enough to the first Rocky movie that it's not going to alienate the audience, but original enough that it can stand on its own. Rocky loses to Apollo. They agree to not ask each other for a rematch. Apollo is getting hate mail because everyone is like, You did this to stay cool, and Apollo can't handle it. It's like me reading my TikTok comments. He asked Rocky for a rematch, and even though they agreed to not do that exact thing, Rocky said,
Okay, Apollo, I'll do the thing that we said we weren't gonna do. Yo.
Adrian is not into it at all and is not supporting Rocky in this rematch. She's also pregnant. During a confrontation with her brother Paulie, she faints, goes to the hospital, goes into labor, and a coma. Drama. The baby is fine, even with being born premature. Boy, do I know what that's like. But Rocky blames himself and won't leave, he won't fight, or see his baby until Adrian is out of her coma. What a husband. I think. Adrian wakes up and the fight takes place on Thanksgiving because why not? Apollo makes it a point to beat the ever-loving shit out of Rocky. Meanwhile, Rocky, a southpaw, decides to fight with his right hand, putting himself at a disadvantage. The fight goes on, it's super duper dramatic. Both men are fighting like their lives depend on it. But Rocky comes out on top, giving us the iconic line, "Yo, Adrian, we did it!"
Yo, Adrian, I did it!
Rocky II grossed $11 million in its first weekend. It was one of the top 3 highest grossing films of 1979 and eventually went on to gross $200,182,160 worldwide. Holy shit, that's a big number. Rocky III came out in 1982 and was written by, directed by, and starred our boy Sly and Mr. T as Clubber Lang, the only name sillier than Mr. T. And this is coming from a guy who chose to call himself Wonder Nerd on the internet. In this movie, Rocky is a big shot. It's been 5 years since he beat Apollo Creed. He's the world heavyweight champion now, and Philadelphia is like, here's a statue at the art museum, and Rocky is like, oh, this is great. I love my statue at the art museum. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop doing the Stallone impressions, I promise. But the guy who did the voice of the cop in the first Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movie, did you know that? Is like, I'll fight you, Rocky. I'm the #1 contender. I pity the fool. Rocky is like, bet, and agrees to fight, but this, I was doing so good too. And agrees to fight, but his day 1 trainer Mickey wants no part of it. Mickey admits that he's been secretly picking the opponents Rocky has been fighting since beating Creed so that he could maintain his title. He also says that Rocky doesn't have the same stamina or... Mickey admits that he's been secretly picking the opponent... Take 3 on that one, I guess. You know what? Mickey admits that he's been secretly picking the opponents Rocky has been fighting since beating Apollo Creed so that he could maintain his title. He also says that Rocky doesn't have the same... He also says that Rocky doesn't have... He also says that Rocky doesn't have the same stamina or strength he once had and won't be able to fight at Clubber Lang's caliber. But Rocky somehow convinces Mickey to train him one last time for the fight. All hell breaks loose when Rocky and Lang do a press conference. Clubber T pushes Mickey, who is a billion years old, resulting in a fatal heart attack because he is a billion years old. Rocky wants to call off the fight to make sure Mickey is okay, but Mickey was like, nah, and convinces Rocky to fight, but Rocky is distracted. His trainer is dying. He can't fight at a time like this. Come on. Rocky loses a fight. He loses his heavyweight title, and Mickey dies. The all is lost moment.
The all is lost moment!
His old buddy Apollo Creed convinces a mourning Rocky to have a rematch, even bringing in his trainer, Tony Duke Evers. Montage. Hey, did you know that Rocky invented montages?
Facts.
Rocky and Clubber Lang have their rematch. It's at Madison Square Garden. Rocky isn't losing, and guess what? he fucking doesn't. The movie ends with a third private rematch between Rocky and Apollo, and it is super duper gay.
Age before beauty.
Anything you say, Stallion.
I do all the work, okay? I'll tell you, Paul, you better go slow, because you ain't as young as springtime no more.
I'm still young enough to whip your butt, Stallion.
Oh, yeah? Well, how you gonna do that? You taught me everything you know.
Almost everything. You gotta remember now, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. Huh? You ready?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. You know, Stallion, it's too bad we gotta get old, huh?
Just keep punching, Apollo. Want to ring the bell?
All right. Ding, ding. Come on, Stallion. Come on.
Boy, you really move good for an older guy.
Oh, you're looking good, Stallion. I taught you well.
I think you taught me too good. Looking fly.
Look out now. No, you don't want to hear this. Come on.
Maybe I'm in here with the wrong guy.
Come on, watch yourself. Ready?
Rocky 3 is good. It stands on its own and it has a good story. It made $270 million on a $17 million budget. But this is where you can start to see the cracks form in the Rocky franchise. Rocky is a big shot. He's a celebrity. He is no longer the underdog. Which brings us to Rocky 4. There's a robot in this one. Why is there a robot in every 80s movie? Was that like mandated by the studios or something? I don't like it. I don't want to talk too much about Rocky 4, but I will say that I think after the first movie, this is the one that most people think about when they think about Rocky. It is for sure the most American movie ever. I know what you're thinking. Travis, what about Born on the 4th of July? More American than that. Rocky goes up against Russian super soldier Dolph Lundgren, Dr. Dolph Lundgren, as Ivan Drago. Rocky fought a Russian during the Cold War. Hey, when was the Cold War? This was the third highest grossing movie of 1985 because, of course, it was America.
America!
Living in America. Rocky 5 sees the return of John G. Avildsen in the director's chair, and boy, oh boy, did he deserve a better movie to return to the franchise on. Rocky 5 finds Rocky retired from boxing, going bankrupt, moving from their mansion back to their old Philadelphia neighborhood, and oh yeah, Rocky has a brain injury. Rocky becomes a trainer and reopens Mickey's gym and begins training a young fighter named Tommy Gunn. Yes, that is the character's actual name. Rocky's son is being bullied and falls in with the wrong crowd. It doesn't really matter. The villain is a Don King stand-in and keeps goading Rocky. Eventually, he seduces Tommy Gunn. Yes, that is the character's real name. The character's real name is Tommy fucking Gunn. Eventually, getting into a street fight with Rocky, who is only fighting him because he hit poor Paulie. You never hit poor Paulie. Rocky wins the street fight because why not? Stallone needed to write his way out of this movie somehow. This movie did well enough at the box office, finishing behind Dances with Wolves and Home Alone, but critically, fucking yikes. Not that I care what Rotten Tomatoes says, but they gave it a 31%. Time Magazine placed it on a list of the 100 worst ideas of the 20th century. Really? Worst ideas of the 20th century? I think there were worse ideas than Rocky 5. But none of them are coming to mind at the moment. And Sylvester Stallone himself hates it, giving it a personal 0 out of 10. And the Rocky franchise ended with this. A big fart of a film where Rocky doesn't even get in the ring. That is until 2006. 16 years after what was thought to be the last Rocky movie, Sylvester Stallone again wrote and directed this return to form. I may be biased because this is maybe my favorite Rocky movie. I love it so much that I even used Rocky's monologue as my senior quote in high school. But this movie is a return to form, putting Rocky back in the role of underdog. Rocky is long retired, widowed, and running a local Philly restaurant. His life is okay, maybe a little sad, definitely lonely, but people still recognize him and love his glory day stories. His son doesn't really fuck with him at this point, trying to, be his own person and not baby Rocky. He's played here by Milo Ventimiglia, who does well. I like him a lot in this. Sylvester Stallone even said that he cast Milo in this movie because they both have a similar mouth thing going on. Sylvester Stallone had a stroke in the womb, I think, which made the side of his mouth droopy and iconic. And Milo just fucking looks like that. Old man Rocky decides he wants to box again and is set up to fight young, hot-headed star Mason the Line Dixon. Do you get it? This is, and hot take here, the best Rocky movie since the first Rocky movie, maybe since the second Rocky movie. It beautifully ends the story of Robert Rocky Balboa Sr. It was a surprise box office success, making and got 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. The Rocky franchise began with a simple movie, written in 3 days by a down-and-out actor, and spawned 5 sequels. A spin-off that spawned its own sequels. We'll talk about them some other time. I just don't have the energy. And a Broadway musical. Even if some of these movies fall flatter than the others, it doesn't matter. This franchise is necessary viewing for any movie lover. Classics. All of them. My name is Travis, and this is Wonder Nerd. Hey! If you like videos about movies, TV shows, snacks, etc., consider subscribing to the channel because I do my very best to be here every single Monday, even though I was gone for like half a month, uploading new content just for you. I know it's been a while since I uploaded. I was very busy. I was in a play, I was in a ballet, and I have a whole bunch of other personal life stuff that is forcing me to be an adult even though I don't wanna. Like I said, I waited a year to make this video because I was so nervous to talk about movies that not only do a lot of people love, but that I also love. I am a huge Rocky fan. It inspired me in my own writing and my own filmmaking, and I don't want to sound like I'm just talking shit to talk shit. I am lovingly critiquing films that I enjoy. So don't thumbs down my video all that much. If you like this video, share it with your friends and family. Give it a big old thumbs up, and check on me next Monday because I have brand new videos. Thank you for sticking around in the time that I was gone. I really appreciate it. I do it because you guys watch. My name is Travis, and remember, nerds rule.